Hello darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing Twelfth Night, or What You Will by William Shakespeare. So this is one of Shakespeare's comedies, and the title of this play, Twelfth Night, comes from the last day of Christmas, or the 12th day of Christmas, which would have been the last night of partying and reveling and enjoying Christmas time before we had to go back to being serious and normal. So this is kind of a comical farce to enjoy in the Christmas season. Other than that, it doesn't have much to do with Christmas, and the title of the play doesn't have a whole lot to do with what's going on in it, other than the whole partying thing. So in this play, we have twins, Viola and Sebastian, and they both get shipwrecked, and they wash ashore separately, and both think the other is dead. So the main character of Viola lands in this land of Illyria and is like, okay, what am I going to do? I have nothing. I have no man to take care of me. I have no wealth. I have nothing with me. I'm a woman all alone. This is not good. So the sea captain that rescues her tells her that there is this duke in town, Orsino, who is looking for servants. And Viola's like, okay, I could do that. I'm gonna have to dress as a man, though, to serve at a guy's court. So Viola dons the guise of Cesario and shows up in Duke Orsino's court as a guy and gets hired. So Duke Orsino is madly in love with the lady Olivia, who lives kind of near them, and is completely pining over her. He's writing love songs and poetry to her, but Olivia's not having it. She is in mourning because both her father and brother have died recently, and also she is in a position now where she doesn't need a man. Like, she's self-sufficient. She has her own funds that she doesn't need a guy. So those two things combined, she's kind of like, I'm not interested. No thanks. Don't need any wooing right now. But Orsino's not going to take no for an answer because he is so in love with Olivia that he decides he's going to send Cesario to woo her on his behalf. Like, if Olivia won't give me the time of day, maybe she'll give you the time of day. So Viola has to go to Olivia's house and woo Olivia for Orsino. However, Viola's kind of in love with Duke Orsino and is like, this is kind of awkward. When she does get to Olivia's court, Olivia is quite taken with Cesario, and as Viola starts sprouting this poetry at her, Olivia falls in love with Cesario. Again, kind of awkward because Cesario was actually Viola, a woman, and Viola's like, yeah, I can't return that love. Sorry. It's a little awkward. First, I'm supposed to be wooing you for my boss. Secondly, I'm actually a woman, but I can't tell you that. So we have this love triangle going on here, where Orsino is in love with Olivia, and Olivia is in love with Cesario, who's actually Viola, who is in love with Orsino. So much unrequited love in this play. So much of it. There is also a subplot in here following Olivia's household, specifically her uncle, Sir Toby, who was kind of just free-floating in this house, like, hey, my niece has got some money, I'm gonna party, and he's also taking advantage of one of Olivia's suitors, Sir Andrew, who is admittedly kind of an idiot, and convinces Andrew to just keep buying drink for them. And so the two of them are partying. Eventually, Olivia's handmaiden Maria joins them, and so does the fool Feste. And when the steward of the household, Marvolio, comes to break up the party, they're like, man, he's awful. They're a little bit drunk at the time, I should point out, but also, Marvolio's just consistently being a jerk to them. He is so stuck up, he thinks he's better than he is. He's like, I'm in charge of the household, Olivia loves me. He actually thinks Olivia is gonna marry him someday. And so the rest of the group comes up with a plan to prove him to be an idiot, basically. They write a love letter in Olivia's hand, sign it with her stamp, so it looks like Olivia wrote it, and leave it for Marvolio to find. And within this letter is Olivia's declaration of love for him, and ways that he can prove his love to her. And these are all things that basically make him look ridiculous, like smiling like an idiot all the time when Olivia's in mourning and was actually not digging that. And also telling him to dress in fashions that Olivia hates, specifically cross-gartered stockings. This entire scene around Marvolio is just hilarious, and I feel kind of bad for him because it's kind of an awful prank to play on somebody, but on the other hand, he's such a jerk to everyone. He has like no redeeming qualities, so I kind of don't feel that bad for him, especially since it's a play. And then there's also a storyline with Sebastian, who washes up on shore somewhere else in Illyria, and the sea captain Antonio spares him. So Antonio is kind of confessing his love to Sebastian, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a bromance kind of thing happening here, but it also doesn't necessarily read that way. Antonio does this thing where he gives like Sebastian his entire purse. So Antonio is in trouble in Duke Orsino's court for something that he did in the past, and if he shows up, he's going to get arrested. So there's a subplot with like Antonio hiding from Duke Orsino and Sebastian kind of being clueless. He doesn't know Viola's alive, and Viola's got such a big, prominent spot in this court. So there's a bit of mistaken identity when Sebastian shows up, and people think that he is Viola. So lots of funny, crazy hijinks, and I really love this play for that. It's also terribly romantic, especially on the unrequited love front. Some of my favorite lines of Shakespeare come from this play. So like the opening line, "If music be the food of love, play on." There's also, "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them," which comes from the letter. This play is perfect. I totally adore it. It's definitely a 5-star read. There are also 2 different adaptations of this play that I really love. One is the Globe on Screen version, which has Stephen Fry in it, and it has an all-male cast, so you get to see what it would look like for a man to be playing a woman and then playing a man. It's also really funny, and it's performed in the Globe, so you get an idea of what it would have looked like in Shakespeare's time. And then the other one is She's the Man, which is a contemporary adaptation with Amanda Bynes in it, and it follows Viola and her twin brother Sebastian. But Viola wants to play soccer, and her women's soccer team gets canceled at her school. So she poses as Sebastian at his school, where he's never gone yet because it's his first year, and joins the soccer team there, and everybody thinks that she's Sebastian. And of course, she has a roommate named Duke Orsino, who she starts falling in love with, and Duke Orsino wants her to woo this girl, Olivia, like help him get this girl Olivia in class, and Olivia starts following for Sebastian, who's Viola. So I love the teen rom-com adaptation of this also. So yes, I highly recommend Twelfth Night. If you are not a big fan of actually reading it, I recommend the Folger editions because they have lots of explanatory notes, or just find an edition with explanations. Also, you can totally just watch it because that's not cheating. Shakespeare wrote these plays to be watched, not read. So totally recommend just watching it performed, whether it's a modern adaptation or a more traditional in Shakespearean English version. I really adore this play because of Viola dressing as a man and kind of getting to see how big a difference gender makes, especially in Shakespearean time, with the different roles that men and women could have. Like Viola's having to dress as a man because she can't get work as a woman. Also, it's just really funny, and all the requited love and the love triangle and everything that's happening with Marvolio is just hysterical. So there's my review for Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare. Totally check it out. Peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.